talking about the stories about Moses, M-O-S-E-S. Today in our mystery box, it's going to be something about water in our story. Can you find your coloring pages? Remember the first one was about water also. It's where Moses' mother hid him in a basket and put him in the river and it floated him along, and his sister watched over him until the princess found him. And then, when Moses was all grown up, he was taking care of the sheep, and one day God talked to him through a bush that was on fire, but it didn't burn up. And then, what God had told Moses when he was talking to him was that he wanted him to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. And at first the Pharaoh kept saying, no, no, you cannot go. But finally, after 10 plagues of bad things happening to Egypt, Pharaoh finally said, okay, you can go and take the people. So here's our story today. So Moses is leading all the people out of Egypt, and they come to some water. And this is our story about what happens at the water. So here's the picture of Pharaoh saying, finally, you can go. And the story today is called The Sea Rolls Back. God led the people out of Egypt by a pillar of a cloud in the daytime. At night, he led them in a pillar of fire. He led them to the edge of a sea. Now the king of Egypt sent his army after the Israelites. God's people were scared. The army was chasing them, but they could not get away because the sea was in front of them. Moses said, do not be afraid. God will take care of us. God did take care of them. That night, God sent a strong wind to push the sea back. Then God's people could walk across the sea. On both sides of them, the sea was pushed back. They walked across on dry ground. The army tried to follow them. They tried to cross the sea too, but God made the water pour back over the seabed. The sea covered the whole army. God saved his people. They all sang a song of thanks to God. See how happy they look? There they are, crossing in between the water. It's one of my favorite stories. So I have a basket full of things here. Let's see if we can put them all out on the table in the order of the stories. There's a basket, a frog, there's some fire, a cloud, here's Pharaoh, here's Moses, some sheep, here's the water parting, here's a bush, and here's some people. So how does the story start? Let's mix them all up. Did you say the basket is the first thing in the story? So here's the basket where Moses was put in there by his mother, floating down the water with the sister watching, and the princess finds it. Then, when Moses is all grown up, he's taking care of the sheep. And God talks to him in a bush that looks like it's on fire, but it doesn't burn up. And what God says is, I want you to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. And the Pharaoh keeps saying, no, 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 you cannot go. But God sends all these plagues, 10 of them, like a bunch of frogs coming to Egypt. And finally Pharaoh says, okay, you can go. So the people, all of these, go with Moses and they leave Egypt. And by daytime, they follow a cloud. And by nighttime, they follow a fire. And then they come to the water. And by this time, Pharaoh has decided, I don't want those people to really leave. I'm going to send my army to come and bring them back. But God protected the people by parting the water so all the people could walk through. And then he closed the water back up, so Pharaoh and the army could not get to them. So when they got to the other side, they were so happy. They sang songs of praise to God. So see you next week, and we'll continue our story of Moses and the people. Bye.